Good happy Friday evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this special report right here on the Riley King Network. Let's get started. Paris attacks. At least 153 reported killed. On a night when thousands of Paris residents and tourists were revealing and fans were enjoying a soccer match between France and world champion Germany, horror struck in an undiscordant manner. Terrorists, some with AK-47s, some reportedly with bombs strapped to them, attacked sites through the France capital and at the stadium where the soccer matches was underway. Soccerers were killed in the conditioned attacks late Friday, leaving a nation in mourning and the world in shock. A journalist who was at a concert at the Bartosila concert venue and escaped after the shooting started, told CNN, "We lie down on the floor not to get hurt. It was a huge panic. The terrorist shot at us for 10 to 15 minutes. It was a bloodbath." Julian Perez didn't hear the attackers speak, but he said one friend who escaped heard them talk about Iraq and Syria. Later, he said the men were speaking French. CNN affiliate BFM TV citing French officials said gunmen were still at large. At least 153 people were killed in the Paris and St. Denis shooting and bombings. French officials said among the victims, 112 were killed at Bataclan, according to the Italian minister. St. Denis is home to the national stadium where the soccer match was being played. 5 suspected attackers have been neutralized. The Paris prosecutor's office said Saturday. French media reported it was unclear what that term precisely meant. Michael Dion, brother of a member of the band that was playing at the Barcelona concert, said he spoke to Eagles of Death metal drummer Julian Demers about 20 to 30 minutes after the attack. He said he had been performing and heard the gunshots. They stopped playing and hit the deck and went backstage and exited, Michael Dever told CNN. BFM TV reports that SWAT team units stormed Barcelona and that the siege was over. 2 attackers were killed, a police uniform said. Police brought out at least 100 hostages from the concert hall, a CNN producer said. Some appear to be wounded, President Franz hollered. Franz told reporters outside Barcelona that terrorists capable of carrying out such atrocities must know that they will face a France that is determined and united. Deputy Mayor Patrick Klug told CNN the death toll is going to rise significantly. We are facing an unknown and historic situation in Paris, he said. Holland called the events unprecedented terrorist attacks and added, "This is a horror." In a tweet, he said, "Faced with terror, this is a nation that knows how to defend itself, how to mobilize its force, and once again knows how to overcome the terrorists." Paris and journalists at Barcelona said 2 men dressed in black started shooting what he described as AK-47s, and after wounded people fell to the floor, the 2 gunmen shot them again, extensive style, he said. The gunfire lasted 10 to 15 minutes, sending the crowd inside a small concert hall into a screaming panic, said Perez, who escaped. Perez said he saw 20 to 25 bodies lying on the floor. One of the explosives at the Stade de France, home of the France national sports team outside Paris, appears to be a suicide bombing. A Western intelligence source receiving direct intelligence from the scene told CNN Deb Ferrick a dismembered body contest with the aftermath of an explosive from that type of device was found at the scene, the source said. People were inviting people off the street into their apartments. Traffic on several subway lines has been interrupted following the attacks, the Paris police prefecture reported. At this hour, there is no credible or specific threat to the United States, according to a U.S. governmental official. An FBI spokesman said the agency and Department of Homeland Security were closely monitoring the unfolding events. Holland, in an address to the nation, said he had declared a state of emergency, meaning borders will be closed. We have to show compassion and solidarity, and we also have to show unity and keep our cool. France must be strong and great, he said. The Paris Prefecture of Police is instructing residents to stay home. The prefecture said via tweet that people should stay inside unless there's an absolute necessity. French authorities have launched a terrorism investigation. There has been no official claim of responsibility, though ISIS has apprehended the attacks on Twitter. least 6 shootings took place in Paris and 3 explosives took place at the Stade de France. 2 or 3 gunmen entered Barcelona while opening fire on law enforcement. There were 6 to 8 hostage takers, citing a person they were talking inside the venue. Holland was evacuated at halftime of the French-German soccer match. Counterterrorism officials around the United States have convened source conference calls to try to gather information and assume whether there is any indication of threat in the U.S., according to 2 U.S. counterterrorism officials. Immediate suspicions for the events in Paris fell to so-called returnees, people who have traveled to Syria and Iraq and have returned, the officials said. In early January of this year, 2 gunmen attacked the Paris office of French Styles magazine Charles Hebdo, killing 12 and wounding 11. Sada and Kochachu wanted to punish the magazine for publicity of cartoons that they believed mocked the Prophet Muhammad. The Cornish brothers 2 days later were shot and killed in a standoff with police in Damantur Gyali. Ahmed Kalan and associated of Sada and Churkana attacked a Jewish grocery store in Paris, taking more than a dozen people hostage and killing 4. Kalaba had killed a policewoman the day before. On January 8th, Kalabaline was killed when police stormed the Korish market. And that does it for your special report right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your night. Goodbye.